Hey everybody, it's Teresa. Welcome to my channel. I've been playing with the new bargain bead box today, the Cloudburst collection, and I'm going to make a necklace and a pair of earrings. First of all, in case you're not familiar, bargain bead box is a monthly subscription of beads and findings. It's $19.49 a month, and that includes shipping in the United States. They have beautiful beads and findings. It's always curated around a different theme each month, and if you're a subscriber to the bargain bead box, you get a 30% off coupon to use in their sister store, Beadbox Bargains, and you can use it as many times as you want to during the month, and they already have great prices. I have a coupon code. It's Teresa2, and I'll put it on the screen here and in the description box below, along with the link to the page to sign up for the subscription if you're interested. The coupon will save you $2 off your first box if you sign up. In here I've got the 10mm matte gray crackle agate beads. They're dyed and heated. In here I've got some of the natural quartz crystal rough nugget beads. In here I've got the natural rough quartz crystal and copper pendant. In here I've got some of the jump rings that came in the box. I think these are all the 6mm jump rings that came in the box. In here I've got the 14mm round donut links. There was a mix, and they were 8 and 14mm, and these are the 14mm ones. These are some spacers that I had in my stash. In here I've got a lobster clasp and one of the little spacers I'm going to hang off the chain to dangle off the chain, and a head pin. I've got the eye pins that came in the box. I've got the chain that came in the box. In here for my earrings, I'm using a couple of the crackle agate beads and some of my spacers, a couple of the little 8mm donut links out of the mix, a couple of the eye pins, and I've got a couple of ear wires in there. I've got my chain nose pliers, both pairs of my bent chain nose pliers. I don't know if I'll need both of them, but I've got them here in case I do. I'm not sure what kind of I'll probably do a wrapped loop for that dangle I'm going to make. I've got my tweezer pliers and my cutters. I've got my round nose pliers and my crimping pliers. I'm going to use the crimping pliers to tuck in the little wires, the little burrs that are left when I cut off the wires. I've got my New Orleans shot glass that I'm going to put my wires in when I get done cutting them off, and I need to empty him. He's getting full. I think that's everything. As many as I can find, I'll put links to the stuff I'm using in the description box below. So hold on, and I'll get some of my stuff out of the way here, and I'll be back. Okay, I've got a few of my beads out here, and I decided when I wanted to use these rough nuggets that I didn't want to put it on bead stringing wire because they're rough, and bead string wire is coated with nylon, and anything that is abrasive and that will rub against that nylon, and it can cause the bead string wire to fail quicker than it would normally fail. So I decided I wanted to either use a wire or these eye pins, so I'm going to use these eye pins. So I'm going to put my nugget on the eye pin there. I'll take my pliers. I'm just going to do a simple loop. I'm going to go a little bit further above the bead than I normally do because of the irregular shape of these, it's kind of hard to go right down against the bead and make your loop. So I need a little bit extra room. So I'm going to turn it at a 90-degree angle. And then I'm going to take my cutters and I'm going to cut off, and I'm probably going to leave a little bit longer. I usually leave about 1/4 of an inch. I think I'll go a little bit longer because, again, because of the regular shape of these beads, it's a little bit harder to make the loops and get them against the bead like they need to be. So I'm probably going to go more like 1/2 inch than 1/4 of an inch like I usually do. And I'm going to cut it off there. And now I'm going to take my round nose pliers and go to the tip of the pin here and make sure there's no wire sticking out there, and I'm going to roll back a loop. Make sure to get your loop closed really well. And my loops are not facing the same way, which they almost always are not. So I'm just going to take my chain nose pliers and my bent chain nose pliers, and I'm just going to turn them around there and make them face the same way. I don't guess it really matters that much, because these are, you know, irregularly shaped, and when you're making a beaded chain it doesn't really matter that much anyway, but I usually try to get them to face the same way. Now I'm going to do the same thing with my agate bead here. But this time I'm going to do like I usually do. I'm going to go just a little bit above the bead so that I don't crack my bead. I'm going to make a 90-degree turn. I'm going to cut off and leave in about 1/4 of an inch of the pin. I'm going to take my round nose pliers and go to the tip and roll back a loop. Make sure to get it closed up really well. And again, my loops are not straight with one another. I'm going to take both pairs of my pliers and straighten them up. That one does not appear to be closed well, so I'm going to open him up and close him again there. Okay. Now I'm going to take an eye pin and put one of my spacer beads on here. And do the same thing. I'm going to go right above the bead there. Make a 90-degree bend. Cut off and leave about 1/4 of an inch of wire. Take my round nose pliers. Roll back a loop. This little spacer keeps wanting to spin around on me. And I'm going to do that with another one of my spacers. Bend at a 90-degree angle. Cut off, leaving about 1/4 of an inch of wire. Around those pliers. Well, it flew out of my hand. Roll back a loop. Okay, now I'm going to take my chain nose pliers and my bent chain nose pliers, and I'm going to take one of my jump rings open it up, and I'm going to attach one of these little loops with my spacer bead to one of my donut links. Close it back up. And get another jump ring. And connect my other spacer to it. Well, okay, so I'm going to make a bunch of these and a bunch of these, and I'm going to use, I don't know how many of these, I'm going to use these as links. I don't know how I want to configure this yet, so I'm just going to make a bunch of these and a bunch of these and a few of these, and then figure out how I want to put it together, because I don't know yet. So I'm going to make a bunch of these off camera, and then I'll be back. Okay, I've got some of my links made, and I think I've decided this is how I'm going to lay it out. I think I'm going to do 5 of my rough nuggets and this link I made, and 3 of my agate beads. So I'm just going to open up my loop and attach this one to this one. I'm going to use my tweezer pliers to get in here. Make sure I get those closed up real well. Be tricky getting down in them little nooks and crannies. And I'm going to connect my little link here to a little nugget, if I can. And then I'm going to take one of these and attach it to my little link I've made here. This is the side of the eye pin that already had the loop on it, and it's a good idea to check those because they're not always closed well. I can see this one is not closed as well as I would like it to be. And I'm just going to hook these to the rest of it here. Oop, open the wrong side. I do that all the time. Okay, so there's one side of my necklace. Now I'm just going to put this side together the same way, and then I'll be back. Okay, I've got both sides of my necklace together here. And now I'm going to take my pendant and I'm going to take these jump rings that are very, very thick. Take that one off, and I'm going to put this is one of the 8mm donut links that came in the box. Put that on there. See if I can get this closed back. These are really thick. I'm going to take the other one. Take it off and put it through my little 8mm and put it back on here. So I've got them both attached to that one 8mm one. Now I took off 5 links of the chain there. I'm gonna open the end and put it on my little 8mm jump ring or donut link. And I got another piece of 5 links of my chain. Open it up. Put it on the other side of my little 8mm donut link. This chain is very thick too. And now I'm going to take this end of my chain, open it, put one side of my necklace on. The other side of my chain, open it, put the other side of my necklace on, and then hold this up and see if it's going to hang straight. Yeah, it's going to hang straight. Okay, that's what I got now. Now I've got 2 pieces of the chain. It's about 3 inches each. I'm just going to open this and put it on each end of my necklace here. Okay, and now I'm going to take my lobster. I didn't have a very big copper lobster. I would rather have had a bigger one, but I didn't. And I've got one of the 6mm jump rings that came in the box. I know I could just hook my lobster directly to the chain, but I just decided to use one of these. And then I have another one of the 8mm donut links that I'm going to use for my lobster to hook onto. I'm going to put that on here with a jump ring that came in the box. And now I've got a piece of the chain, same chain. It's about 1.5 inches. I'm going to use it as an extender. And I'm just going to open the link on it. Put it directly onto my 8mm donut link. So there we go. That's what I got now. Now I'm going to make a dangle to go on the end of my extender chain. I got a head pin here and one of my little spacer beads. I'm going to take my pliers, go to the very tip of the pliers, bend at a 90-degree angle around those pliers in the crook of the bend, around those pliers facing me. Bend the wire back until it hits the bead. Rotate the pliers till they're facing the table. Hold on tight and pull this part up and under here until it hits the bottom of the tool. Cock the loop back until it's centered over the bead. Take my bent chain nose pliers and hold on to my loop. Hold really tight. Take my other pair of bent chain nose pliers and start to wrap. Try to get this first wrap good and tight. Just wrap till there's no more room to wrap. I'm going to cut off my extra wire. Use my crimping pliers and go into that little part at the end that has just the little circle, half circles on each side. And I'm going to tuck in my little burr that's left where I cut off my wire. Now I'm going to open the end of my extender chain. Thread on my dangle. Close my extender chain back. So that's what I've got. I guess you might call this a statement necklace because it's kind of big. So now I'm going to get my stuff together and make a little pair of earrings. Hold on, I'll be back. Okay, I'm going to make a little earring now. And when I got things out for my earrings, I didn't get out everything I needed. I only had one eye pin for each earring. I need two, and I didn't have a head pin out, and I need a head pin to put my little agate bead on here. So I'm going to put my little agate bead on here, and usually when I use a head pin, I make a wrap loop, but I'm just going to make a simple loop because these head pins are really thick. So I'm going to go just a little bit above the bead so I don't crack my bead. Bend at a 90-degree angle. Now I'm going to take my cutters and cut off, leaving about 1/4 of an inch of the pin. I'm going to take my round nose pliers, go to the end of the wire, and start rolling back a loop. I don't know where I got these head pins. They say they're 21 gauge, but they're awfully thick. Now I'm going to open my loop I just made and thread it onto one of my eye pins. Close it back up. Make sure to get it closed up well. Now I'm going to take one of my spacer beads. I'm going to take my pliers. And I'm going to make another simple loop. I'm going to go a little bit above the bead. Bend at a 90-degree angle. Cut off and leave about 1/4 of an inch of wire. Take my round nose pliers, and I'm going to make a little bit bigger loop this time than I usually do because I'm going to try to get it around that. This is one of the 8mm donut links, and it's a little bit thick, so I'm going to try to make a little bit bigger loop than I usually do. Try to get it closed really well. Now I'm going to open my loop, put my donut on, close my loop, need to get in here with my tweezer pliers. It's hard to get in there. I'll make sure it's closed up really well. Okay, now I'm going to take my other spacer bead, thread it on here. I would go ahead and thread it on here first, but I'm afraid that loop that's on there is not big enough to go on that donut, so I'm going to make a bigger loop on this other side. So I'm going to go just a little bit above the bead, bend over at a 90-degree angle, cut off and leave about 1/4 of an inch of, well, I might leave a little more because I want to make a big loop, or bigger loop. I'm going to take my round nose pliers, roll back a loop, I want these loops to be opposite each other this time, I think, for it to hang the way I want it to on the ear wire. Now I'm going to open this loop I just made, put my donut on here, close it back, using my other pliers. Now I'm going to take my pliers and open my ear wire, thread on my earring, close my ear wire back, and there I have a little earring. So now I'm going to make the other one off camera and then I'll be back. Okay, there we go. My first necklace and pair of earrings out of the new Bargain Bead box, the Cloudburst collection. Like I said, if you're not subscribed to the box and you decide you want to be, that coupon code will save you $2 off your first box. I hope you all have enjoyed this video. As always, thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate those of you who have subscribed to my channel and watched my videos and liked and commented on my videos. I have a website where I sell my jewelry. It's Teresa's Handmade Jewelry, and I'll put a link to it in the description box below in case you're interested, along with a link to my Facebook and Instagram and my email. If you haven't, I'd really love it if you'd subscribe and hit the notification bell so you're notified when I upload a new video. So until next time, hope y'all have a great day. Take care.